3 minutes left, Elon Musk says, a letter with shocking news about tour Intheritence. My beloved friend, listen very carefully and do not let your finger move away from this screen, because what you are about to hear was never meant to reach you like this. 3 minutes. That is the exact window Elon Musk referred to when this letter surfaced, a letter sealed, delayed, and quietly redirected, carrying news that connects your name to an inheritance nobody expected you to question. This is not noise, not coincidence, and definitely not a random story. From the first word of that letter, the tone was clear: urgency without panic, power without announcement. If you've ever felt that strange pull, like something important was circling your life but never landing, this is the moment it finally touches down. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second you stay reveals why this message found you now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. What makes this shocking is not the inheritance itself, but how long it has been moving behind closed doors. The letter speaks of a legacy linked to innovation, decisions made years ago, and a name that was kept out of public records on purpose. Elon Musk didn't write this to impress anyone, he referenced it because the timing forced his hand. The document describes a transfer of responsibility, not just wealth, and hints that the recipient was chosen based on a pattern, not a family tree. That's where your heartbeat should slow down and your focus should sharpen. This is not about luck. This is about alignment. About why certain opportunities passed you by while others kept circling back. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the letter makes one thing clear: once this window closes, the narrative changes forever. And here is the part that most people would miss if they blink. The letter warns that silence was intentional, because attention attracts interference. It explains that the final confirmation depends on awareness, on you recognizing this moment without announcing it to the world. That's why this feels personal. That's why the message doesn't shout, it pulls you in. Elon Musk's name appears not as a headline, but as a checkpoint, a signal that the process has reached a stage where hiding is no longer possible. 3 minutes left is not a threat, it's a threshold. Cross it by staying present, by listening fully, by understanding that this inheritance is as much about direction as it is about value. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning. What the letter reveals next is where everything tightens, my beloved friend, so don't skip now, because this is the point where most people would scroll away and miss the real meaning. The second section explains why this inheritance was disguised as a routine transfer for so long. It says the value was never meant to be measured only in numbers, but in access, timing, and influence that activates only when the right person is watching. Elon Musk's name appears again here, not as the giver, but as a verifier, someone who confirmed that the final stage could only begin once the recipient became aware. That awareness is happening right now. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the letter makes it clear that recognition is the first key that unlocks everything else. The most surprising line in this part of the letter is calm, almost gentle, yet powerful enough to change how you see your past. It says the delay was protection. Every missed call, every opportunity that almost happened, every moment you felt overlooked was not rejection, it was preparation. The inheritance, as described here, carries responsibility that cannot be rushed into unprepared hands. That is why this message feels different from anything you've heard before. It doesn't beg for belief, it asks for attention. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and if this message is resonating, it's because you're aligned with the timing written into that letter. And listen closely. If this is making sense to you, take a second to share this with someone you trust, because moments like this are rare, and awareness grows stronger when it's acknowledged. This part ends with a quiet instruction, and it's important you feel it, not rush past it. The letter says that once the recipient understands the weight of what's coming, the next signal will appear naturally, through confirmation, through conversation, through doors opening without force. That's why you're being asked to stay present, not anxious. If you're following this story, if your curiosity hasn't faded, it means you're ready for the next layer. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And before the next part unfolds, make sure you stay connected, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, and leave your thoughts below if this message feels like it was meant for you. The letter doesn't rush, but it does move forward, and what's coming next explains why this inheritance could never be announced publicly. Before you try to explain this away as imagination, pause and breathe, because this is where the letter shifts from explanation to implication. It starts describing a journey, not across places, but across decisions, choices made quietly, risks taken when no one was watching, moments when you chose patience over noise. The letter suggests that inheritance is not always passed through blood, but through alignment of values and vision. That's why this feels unsettling and familiar at the same time. You're not being introduced to something new, you're being reminded of something that has been circling your life for years. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part is meant to slow you down so you don't miss the signal hidden between the lines. What makes this section powerful is how precise it becomes without revealing names. It explains that the inheritance includes access to ideas, networks, and opportunities that only activate when the recipient understands discretion. Elon Musk is referenced again, but only once, almost like a signature at the bottom of a contract, confirmation that this process exists, not promotion of it. The letter says this transfer was delayed until the recipient stopped chasing validation and started trusting inner direction. That sentence alone changes everything. It reframes your waiting, your confusion, even your silence, as preparation rather than loss. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the letter insists that once awareness clicks, resistance fades on its own. The closing lines of this part feel less like instructions and more like reassurance. It says the next phase will not arrive with noise, but with clarity. You won't need to force anything. Conversations will happen naturally. Information will surface without searching. And when it does, you'll recognize it immediately, not because someone tells you, but because it matches what you already feel inside. That's why this moment matters. That's why you're still here. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the letter makes one promise very clear. Those who stay attentive through uncertainty are the ones who receive what cannot be announced out loud. Now listen closely, because this is the section of the letter that most people were never meant to understand on the first read. It opens with a quiet reminder: timing reveals intention. The letter explains that inheritance does not arrive when life is loud, but when the mind is calm enough to recognize it. This is why the message reached you now. Not during chaos. Not during celebration. But in a moment where curiosity held your attention longer than doubt. Elon Musk's reference here is brief yet deliberate, pointing to a decision that was approved only after years of observation. Not observation of status, but of consistency. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part exists to make sure you don't mistake patience for delay. The next paragraph of the letter is where everything connects back to you. It speaks about how true inheritance tests awareness before it transfers value. It says many were eligible on paper, but only one recognized the signal without being told to chase it. That's why this message doesn't command you, it invites you. And if this story is holding your attention right now, that itself is part of the confirmation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And pause here for just a moment. If this message feels different from anything you've heard before, share it with someone who understands silence and growth. Stay connected by subscribing, because the next part won't repeat this moment, it will build on it. The letter closes this section with a powerful assurance: what is coming will feel natural, not forced. You won't have to prove yourself. You won't have to announce anything. The shift will be subtle, but unmistakable. Opportunities will begin to align instead of collide. Questions you carried quietly will start answering themselves. That's how you'll know the inheritance is no longer distant, it's active. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and what comes next explains why this letter could only surface once you were fully paying attention. What follows next in the letter feels almost personal, as if it was written with the assumption that you would be reading it alone. It begins by stating that inheritance is not an event, but a transition. A quiet crossing from one phase of life into another where decisions carry more weight and clarity replaces confusion. The letter explains that this shift often feels subtle at first, like nothing has changed, yet everything starts responding differently to your presence. Doors open with less effort. Conversations feel purposeful. Time itself seems to cooperate. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part exists to help you recognize the shift while it's happening. The letter then addresses a question you may not have spoken out loud but have carried for a long time: why you? It says the selection was not based on visibility, noise, or popularity, but on how you moved when no one was watching. How you handled pauses. How you stayed steady when outcomes were unclear. Elon Musk's name is not mentioned here at all, and that absence is intentional. This part emphasizes that the inheritance stands on its own logic, independent of headlines or recognition. It was designed to reach someone who values substance over spectacle. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this realization alone changes how you see your past. The final lines of this section feel grounding rather than dramatic. The letter reassures that nothing needs to be rushed, because what's meant to activate will do so naturally. There is no chase, no countdown inside this moment, only awareness. It suggests that once the mind settles into understanding, the next confirmation arrives quietly, almost effortlessly. That's why staying present matters more than reacting. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals why this inheritance was designed to reveal itself step by step, instead of all at once. This is the point in the letter where the tone becomes unmistakably clear, my beloved friend, and you can feel that it's no longer describing a possibility, but a process already in motion. It explains that once awareness is established, the environment begins to respond. Not dramatically, not overnight, but through small confirmations that feel too precise to ignore. A conversation that answers an unasked question. A delay that redirects you to something better. A sudden clarity about what no longer belongs in your life. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section exists to help you notice the signs instead of doubting them. The letter then reveals something quietly powerful. The inheritance does not arrive all at once because its purpose is evolution, not shock. It says that receiving everything at once would overwhelm the very clarity required to sustain it. That's why this path unfolds in layers, each one unlocking only after the previous is understood. This is where many people fail, not because they aren't chosen, but because they rush to define what hasn't fully arrived yet. The letter urges patience without fear, reminding the recipient that what is aligned cannot be lost. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the calm you feel right now is part of the confirmation. The final paragraph of this part feels almost like guidance rather than information. It says the next stage will reveal itself when you stop asking when and start noticing how. How things begin to align. How resistance fades. How confidence replaces urgency. This inheritance, the letter explains, is designed to integrate into your life seamlessly, without disruption or announcement. And when that happens, you won't need proof, recognition will be enough. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and what comes next explains why this moment could only be recognized by someone who stayed attentive this long. This part of the letter carries a different weight, almost like a pause written into words, asking you to slow your thoughts instead of racing ahead. It explains that once the process begins, the real challenge is not receiving, but maintaining clarity while receiving. The letter says many people lose alignment not because they are unworthy, but because they let anticipation replace awareness. That's why this message keeps pulling you back into the present moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section exists to anchor you before the next shift reveals itself. Here, the letter introduces a powerful idea. Confirmation does not come as applause, it comes as inner certainty. It describes a moment when doubt quietly steps aside, not because questions are answered, but because the direction feels undeniable. Elon Musk is mentioned only indirectly, referenced as someone who understands that real influence moves silently at first. The inheritance, according to the letter, aligns with that same principle. When it begins to show itself, it won't demand attention, it will command focus. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is where understanding replaces curiosity. The closing lines of this part feel steady, almost reassuring. The letter reminds you that nothing needs to be forced, explained, or shared prematurely. What's unfolding is meant to integrate into your life naturally, without resistance. The moment you stop questioning whether this is real and start noticing how calm it feels, you'll realize you've already crossed an invisible line. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals why this calm is the strongest signal of all. This section of the letter feels quieter, but don't mistake that for weakness, because this is where depth replaces drama. It opens by explaining that true inheritance reshapes identity before it reshapes circumstances. You may notice your priorities shifting without effort, distractions losing their grip, and certain paths no longer calling your name. The letter says this inner rearrangement is intentional. It's how alignment prepares the ground before anything visible appears. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part exists so you don't confuse inner calm with inactivity. The letter then highlights something subtle yet powerful. Recognition changes how the world responds to you. Not because you announce anything, but because your decisions begin to carry quiet authority. People listen differently. Opportunities approach without being chased. Elon Musk's philosophy is referenced here indirectly, emphasizing that the most impactful moves are often invisible at first. The inheritance, it says, follows the same rule. Its influence grows as attention settles, not as noise increases. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is where understanding deepens beyond curiosity. The final paragraph of this part reassures you that nothing has been missed and nothing is late. The letter states clearly that timing is synchronized, not rushed. What's unfolding now is meant to feel natural, even obvious in hindsight. And when the next confirmation arrives, it won't surprise you. It will feel familiar, like something you've been expecting without realizing it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals why this sense of familiarity is the final signal before everything begins to move. This part of the letter shifts again, not in urgency, but in certainty, and that difference matters more than anything. It explains that once familiarity settles in, the mind stops resisting what the path already knows. This is the stage where clarity becomes stable, not emotional. You're no longer pulled by curiosity alone, you're grounded by understanding. The letter says this is how you know the inheritance is no longer approaching, it's already integrated into your direction. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section exists to help you recognize the difference between anticipation and readiness. What follows feels almost reflective, as if the letter is holding up a mirror. It speaks about how the recipient will notice a quiet confidence replacing old uncertainty. Decisions feel simpler. Distractions lose urgency. Even silence feels productive. Elon Musk is not named here at all, and that absence reinforces the point. Once alignment is complete, external validation becomes unnecessary. The inheritance operates independently of recognition, headlines, or approval. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is where trust replaces explanation. The final lines of this part carry a calm assurance that stays with you. The letter says that movement will begin soon, but it won't feel like a sudden push, it will feel like momentum you've already built. You won't need to chase signs anymore, because confirmation will arrive through consistency and flow. And when that happens, you'll understand why this process could only unfold for someone who stayed attentive through every quiet phase. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part explains what finally starts to move once this level of certainty is reached. This is the moment in the letter where motion finally replaces waiting, and you can feel the shift without being told it's happening. It explains that once certainty settles, life begins to respond in subtle but undeniable ways. Not through sudden announcements, but through alignment, things falling into place with less resistance than before. The letter says this is when paths that once felt blocked start opening quietly, almost casually, as if they were always meant to. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part exists to help you notice movement without forcing it. The letter then focuses on responsibility, not as pressure, but as readiness. It explains that inheritance only becomes active when the recipient understands how to carry it without attachment or fear. This is where many stories exaggerate, but this letter stays grounded. It says power grows when it's handled calmly, when decisions are made from clarity instead of excitement. Elon Musk is referenced indirectly here again, through the idea that long-term vision always outlives short-term reaction. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section is meant to remind you that steadiness is part of the qualification. The closing paragraph of this part feels almost like a quiet confirmation. The letter states that once movement begins, you'll stop questioning whether you're on the right path, because results will align without effort. You won't need to announce progress or prove direction, momentum will speak for itself. And when the next signal arrives, it won't demand urgency. It will feel natural, expected, and perfectly timed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals what changes once this momentum becomes impossible to ignore. This part of the letter feels like a quiet turning point, where understanding matures into confidence. It explains that once momentum becomes steady, fear naturally loses its grip. Not because everything is known, but because direction is clear. The letter says this is when you stop asking for signs and start recognizing patterns. Small confirmations repeat themselves. The same themes return through different situations, reinforcing that you're no longer guessing, you're aligned. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section exists to help you trust what's already unfolding. The letter then addresses a subtle shift you may already feel: detachment from outcomes. It says this is not indifference, but strength. When you're no longer desperate for results, results move toward you faster. Elon Musk is mentioned once more, not by name, but by principle, the idea that real builders focus on systems, not applause. The inheritance, it explains, responds to the same mindset. It grows when handled with calm focus, not urgency. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this realization changes how you approach everything ahead. The final lines of this part are grounding and reassuring. The letter states that from this point forward, progress will feel natural, even quiet. You won't need reassurance because consistency will replace doubt. The path ahead won't feel rushed or delayed, it will feel steady. And when the next stage reveals itself, you'll recognize it instantly, not as a surprise, but as a continuation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part explains what finally becomes visible once this inner stability is complete. This part of the letter introduces visibility, but in a way that feels controlled, not exposed. It explains that once inner stability is complete, certain things naturally come into view, not to impress others, but to confirm direction for yourself. The letter says this is when results stop feeling imagined and start feeling tangible. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just real. You begin to see proof through consistency rather than surprise. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this section exists so you recognize reality without needing spectacle. The letter then explains why this visibility arrives quietly. It says loud success attracts attention, but aligned success attracts support. The inheritance, at this stage, begins to show itself through opportunities that feel tailored, conversations that feel intentional, and timing that feels precise. Elon Musk is not mentioned here at all, and that absence reinforces the message. The focus is no longer on who validates this process, but on how smoothly it integrates into your life. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is where trust fully replaces doubt. The closing lines of this part feel almost like a calm nod forward. The letter reassures that nothing needs to be announced or rushed. What's becoming visible now will continue to grow steadily, without interruption. And when the next layer reveals itself, it won't feel like a surprise, it will feel like the natural next step. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part explains what changes when this visibility becomes undeniable. This final part of the letter closes the circle, my beloved friend, and it does so without drama, because certainty no longer needs volume. It explains that when visibility becomes undeniable, the process is complete, not because everything has arrived, but because direction is now irreversible. The letter says this is the moment when you stop preparing and start living from alignment. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels rushed. You simply move forward, knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this ending exists to confirm what you already feel inside. The letter's last message is simple yet powerful. Inheritance reveals itself fully only to those who remained present through every quiet phase. It reminds you that what you're stepping into was never about sudden change, but lasting impact. Elon Musk's name is mentioned one final time, not as a symbol of power, but as a reminder that true legacy is built patiently, away from noise. This inheritance, the letter says, will grow alongside you, responding to clarity, not pressure. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and now you understand why this message could only reach you this way. The final sentence of the letter is calm, almost reassuring. It says there is nothing left to chase and nothing left to prove. What was meant for you has already aligned itself with your path. From here on, progress will feel steady, natural, and unmistakable. And as this chapter closes, one truth remains clear: you didn't stumble into this moment, you stayed attentive long enough to arrive at it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you.